Donald J. Trump had a bad day today, and Fox News was not happy. Donald Trump probably committed some treason because he's a dumbass.
Now with the great one, I call him the great one. He's the host of Life, Liberty, Levin, weeknights, weekend Sunday
one.
at 9 p.m. Top show on the network. The great one, Mark Levin. Mark, I'll just hand it to you. I know.
Okay, I don't watch a lot of Fox News. I've heard the name. I've seen the guy. He looks so mad. I don't respect the system at all, like whatsoever. So I love it when it eats itself like this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful to me.
I know you got a lot to say.
President Trump is 76 years old.
Aww.
If the Department of Justice gets his way, he will die in federal prison.
Yeah.
Just by one of these counts, conspiracy to obstruct justice, which has a 20-year maximum sentence. This is a disgusting mark on American history for the future to come.
Yeah, I agree that you voted for a criminal is bad. I agree. Disgusting.
By these bandits in the White House, by the Democrat Party that don't play fair anymore. They don't want to just win elections. They want to take control of this country. They want one-party rule.
They want one-party rule. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Like, I don't think that... Look, you can say... Okay, all right. Hear me out. One-party rule. Okay. In a situation where you have one party, what happens? Do they just contentedly run the country? Or do you think they immediately fracture because we split and fight all the time on the left and it would be fine? Like, if the Republican Party dies, fucking good! It doesn't deserve to be a viable political party. It's not one. It's stupid. These two parties have lasted for far too long. It would be lovely to dissolve them in the acid of their own fucking venom. It's not fair for them to take control, unlike what all Republicans want. That's true. I mean, Democrats are taking control because people are voting for them. Like, hello? They're being voted for. They're winning elections. Have the Republicans ever considered having a valuable political contribution, like a good idea? Have they thought to themselves, how do we win the votes of the American people? Shall we, A, just gerrymander it, or B, have good opinions? No, because it's never been about serving their constituents. The idea of American democracy is a fucking lie. It's always been about one thing, and that is the power that comes with the position for the individual. Very rarely do you have someone treat the office as it was intended. Someone like Bernie Sanders comes to mind, and I bet he would disappoint me somewhere down the line. Like, come on.
And they have used the Department of Justice and the FBI to get what they want. Merrick Garland is a mob lawyer.
They don't do crimes.
That's what he is.
Look, I think it would be wonderful if Donald Trump could attend a rehabilitative prison, but instead we have American for-profit prisons. So fuck him. I don't care. He's about that life. Fuck him. I hope he makes license plates until the day. I hope he dies making license plates. Because fuck him. Of the people who deserve to have to be the exception to slavery in the United States, according to the Constitution, he deserves it. Absolutely. And the whole billionaire class. If anyone deserves hard labor, it's them. If not, that's part of the rehabilitative justice, honestly. Specifically for the billionaire class.
Jack Reed is a
Do
rogue
something useful.
Soviet-style prosecutor. The Presidential Records Act is not a criminal statute, and it was never intended to be. The Espionage Act of 1917 was passed under Woodrow Wilson, another corrupt president. Woodrow Wilson used it to go after his adversaries, and they imprisoned 2,000 people. So I suppose over there at the Department of Injustice, and this clown prosecutor spent a lot of time at The Hague, they probably figured these laws could be used to try and entrap Trump. All these obstruction issues that they claim, where the former Attorney General, Bill Barr, comes up here and bloviates about it, and all the formers coming on talking about obstruction. They have them on.
Two of Donald Trump's lawyers resigned today after the news dropped because it's not a winner. It looks pretty much like Donald Trump's fucked, and the only thing that'll save him is the good Christian heart of Joseph R. Biden.
Obstruction. There'd be no obstruction issue of any kind, not even in anybody's imagination.
You know what I hope? Here's what I hope. Okay? This is what I hope. Okay. Let me count dominoes here. All right. Number 1. New running mate for Joe. I don't think it's going to happen, but Kamala Harris, DWI. Seems likely, right? Kamala Harris, DWI, new running mate. Literally any fucking person, preferably someone I like. Doesn't matter though. Don't care. You could do fucking you could put Chris Pratt there. I don't care. He did a good job at Mario. I'll say it. And so Joe Biden runs. Donald Trump goes to prison. Okay. During the process, he beats DeSantis. Joe Biden runs and says, "Hey, don't you worry." To keep, because liberal brains, to keep the peace, he runs on pardoning Donald Trump and is like, "Look, I'm going to pardon Donald Trump. I'll do it." And then, as he's being sworn in, Joe Biden, well, nature takes its course. Never happens. Donald Trump languishes in prison. Katie Porter, 47th president of the United States. Let's go. Huh? No, wait, not Katie Porter. Is it? Wait, Rep Katie Porter, or is that the turf? I get them mixed up. There's two of them. Which one's the good one? Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. It would be like a rope-a-dope. Oh.
Had they not criminalized this case. This is a document case.
A document case?
A document case.
Yep, cases of documents. Ones that were so, okay. So if you don't understand, what's happening, I'm not going to go through a whole thing. You can read the report if you want. It's all there. You can read it. There are pictures of Donald Trump's fucking documents just fucking littered all over Mar-a-Lago in showers and shit. Literally just fucking all over the place. He would tell people about them, share them. He apparently traveled with them. These are top secret and higher classifications. There are much higher classifications than that. So he has stuff in his home that, you or I would be on the wall right now. We'd be on the wall. They'd be shooting us. It's just. Welcome, Vushers, for those who join. If you or I had this shit, we'd be fucking smoked immediately. It looks like he's fucked, man. I don't know. I mean, of course, something stupid's gonna happen, but those are his therapy documents. He needs them. He reads them. Literally executed. Yeah. So it seems very likely that these documents could have led to the, depending on how you feel about this, could have led to the direct deaths of American agents in foreign countries working on espionage. Very, very exposing documents. Not good. I have a good buddy of mine who's very locked in on all this kind of stuff. Comes from a family, and he is beside himself right now with joy.
Where a president of the United States...
Thanks for following, Vooshers, Cowboy, Faygale, Wavequake, and Skink. Welcome.
States where a former president faces 100 years in federal prison.
Veneroso.
Is this some kind of a sick joke on the American people?
More of this shit. More of this forever and ever. I could subsist on... You know how there's some people that sun their buttholes? I could sun my soul on this forever and ever.
Joe Biden says he never told them what to do. Joe Biden had to sign off on that's becoming a National Archives case to have it go to the Department of Justice.
Syndrome Gay and Changeling. Nice follow.
Who does he think he's lying to? The American people? This is a guy that's got documents from the time he was in the U.S. Senate, for God's sakes, in his garage. I don't want to hear from the legal analysts the technicalities about false statements.
I don't want to hear from the experts in the field. I don't want to hear about it. Pretty party line stuff from a Republican. That makes sense. Rip Van Bauer? Thanks, fun.
And obstruction. This should never have been a criminal case. Willful retention of documents.
What do you mean not a criminal case? It seems to be multiple felonies. Bad ones. Bad felonies.
Well, what's the unwillful retention of documents mean? They're throwing all these process crimes and these crimes that grow out of the criminal investigation against Trump. What did he do with the documents? Did he sell them to the enemy? No. That's why we have an Espionage Act.
You don't have to sell... What does the Espionage Act actually say? Espionage Act. Let's go look at it. I guess we'll click on it. We'll click on the I don't want to look at a Forbes article, though. Fuck you. Intelligence.gov. You can trust the .govs. They'll give you the right answer. The Espionage Act. Do we actually have the fucking thing, or is it... Wait. Nope. This is can I look at it? Can I just look upon it? Look upon its... There are citizens of the United States... Oh, wait. No. Dude, where can you just read the whole fucking thing? Anyway, there's lots of other stuff you can do besides just sell documents to the enemy that violate the Espionage Act. You feel me? John Oliver for Prez. Thanks for following. Gingiverse, thanks for following as well.
Not the trick of a president. What did he do? Did he burn them all? No. The government has all the documents back. So there is no violation of the Presidential Records Act at this point.
Because they... Wait a second. Hold on. So you're driving down the road, and you're going like 100 miles an hour, and the cop pulls you over, and when he gets there, he's like, do you know how fast you're going? And you're like, officer, I'm not going at all. I have stopped my vehicle. You cannot get me for speeding. And you're like, no, buddy, you were speeding. Yeah, but I'm not now. Like, but you did, though. And that's what they're proving, is that you did commit a crime, not you're currently still committing the crime. What? I love this guy.
But they throw the book at him. They go after his attorneys. They make them testify.
Yeah.
They're attorneys under the crime fraud exception to attorney-client privilege. That means he didn't have due process. His own lawyers were being subjected.
Didn't have due process.
To interrogations. And they had hundreds of in-person people testifying in front of grand juries. Thousands of collections of documents. For what? For what? And they indict them today? They indict them today in Miami? All of a sudden it's in Miami? All of a sudden we have a Florida grand jury? Because the moron in Washington figured out that there are venue issues.
What's he bitching about now? He's mad about venue issues? They were mad. They were mad that it was going to be in New York for a minute. They're like, that's not fair. And now it's in Florida, and they're like, I don't like that. Isn't Florida like the nicest possible place you could have it? Is there a kinder... Well, I guess it's DeSantis. Maybe that's why, because there's beef now?
That could lose him his case. This guy, this prosecutor.
They've got
he
beef.
Lost 8-0 in the U.S. Supreme Court when they overturned the conviction of the former governor of Virginia because this jerk...
Glenn Youngkin? Wait, what? Is that who I'm thinking of? Is Youngkin? Glenn Youngkin, parents know firsthand what Trump's going through with indictment.
Took a statute.
What happened to him? I don't pay attention to electoral politics usually.
Expanded it. A jury in North Carolina.
Every 4 years we lock in because it's important to use every tool in the tool bag, chat. And if you're a big junkie for Fox News, hang in there. Go ahead. But I spend a lot of time at like old people houses. I'm good on Fox News. Y'all can watch it. You send it to me every once in a while. I'll look at boomers be upset or something.
And it wouldn't convict John Edwards because this jerk took a campaign statute and expanded it. And he's taken this case and he's undermining the country.
Dude, this is 4 minutes of yelling. I'm tuckered out listening to him. I'm like heavy. Take a deep breath, bro.
And he's interfering with a presidential election. And let me be clear, as Jarrett said, the Attorney General of the United States made this final decision. This is not the independent counsel statute. This is a special counsel.
Yeah, the timbre of his yelling is not satisfying to me. You know how like when Dave Grohl yells, you're like, yeah, that sounds nice. This is the opposite of Dave Grohl.
Appointed by the Attorney General under a
He has an herbal tea
Department of Justice
for his throat to soothe it. Smart.
This regulation. This Attorney General who pretends he's Helen Keller.
What? Pretends he's Helen Keller.
He made the decision.
You know what I remember about the Helen Keller stuff? We watched a movie in 2nd grade or something, and I still remember this. We watched a movie in like 2nd grade. So they were wheeling out like a VHS, not to date myself, but I'm old now. They wheeled out a VHS thing, and we had like a TV, and they wheeled it out. And we watched the Helen Keller story, some sort of, I don't know, it was like a Hallmark rendition of the Helen Keller story. She was blind and deaf and learned to read and talk. Can you believe it? Wow, even someone blind and deaf. Anyway, and she ended up being an author and stuff. And there's one scene in that, though, where someone, like her tutor shows up. I don't remember. Her tutor shows up and is like, you have to fucking, it's water, and she's like touching her hand to the water, and the actress playing Helen Keller is going full fucking like I can't talk, what? And it's like really cringe, and you're like, no, don't have it. And even in 2nd grade, we're like, it's happening. And then she goes, water, and she takes her hand, she slaps it down in there, and then she bitch slaps her right in the face, and we fucking cracked up, dude. And we were laughing, man. We were laughing so much, and we got in trouble. She paused the movie. It was like, that's not funny, man. What? Why are they showing us that shit? Anyway, that's what I remember about Helen Keller. Never forget, there's millions of people that think Helen Keller wasn't real. A lot of people mix up Helen Keller and now I can't think of who they mix it up with. Anne Frank? Helen Keller and Anne Frank. I think because you learn it at the same time-ish. Look, these are two girls that have backstories. You know, one's a little more tragic than the other.
To indict the former president, and they made the decision to interfere in this election. You want to talk about an insurrection? This is an insurrection. And that's exactly what's going on here.
It is.
Let me go on.
Let me go on, please. It's only been 5 straight minutes of screeching. He reminds me of, what's that actor's name? Paul Giamatti. He reminds me of a less wet a rounder, smoother Paul Giamatti. This guy's been polished. Polished smooth Paul Giamatti. It's Paul Giamatti if you put him in like the rock tumbler. Got him all smooth and Ooh, textural. Ooh, he'd probably be very satisfying to touch. Everyone rubbed this guy.
Biden is
Mark
the
Levin.
crookedest
I want to say Levin, but it's Levin, right?
crook that's ever been in the Oval Office. Everywhere we look, there's a predicate for a special counsel. They won't appoint a special counsel, even though it's compelled under the law in which they appointed this special counsel. And you're not supposed to appoint a special counsel against your political opponent. You're supposed to appoint one in the
Platypus, ridiculous.
case of Biden. 20 shell corporations. $10 million coming from the communist Chinese military, spread out among the family. No businesses to support this. Endless
What
meetings.
is he talking about
Endless
now?
meetings with
He's just listing umbrage he has in general with stuff. I don't like long meetings. I don't like the Chinese communist military. And I don't like it when you go through the drive-thru and you're like, hey, this is what I want, and then they don't really hear you right, and you kind of have that like, nope, I actually said this thing, but you don't want to feel like an asshole, but you kind of like the nature of correcting them is like, I mean, that's just not the food I want to eat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that either. That's umbrage I have. That was I added one for me.
Biden's with Hunter Biden's business partners. Bob Alinsky, who ties Joe Biden to the crimes. Mr. Big, Mr. 10%. And what does Biden say? Well, then where's the money? He's asking us.
Does this mean stuff to boomers? Because I know that we have our slang and the kids have their slang. Is this boomer slang where you just like list fucking words that usually make you angry on Fox News? 10%ers. That your word is usually associated with a thing that makes me angry. Can you imagine being 80 years old and being like, honey, are we supposed to be mad?
It has to do.
Are we supposed to be upset right now? I think so. That's why they're showing a Mexican person. That's right. I'm pissed. Mr. This is the boomer equivalent of a Greg. Oh, you think so? I don't think so.
Come and catch me if you can. The idea that this man isn't under a criminal investigation and that they criminalized a damn document case to go after Donald Trump is sickening. And I would say this to our fellow Americans. Don't be bamboozled by these cable channels and these fools who come on and tell you, well, he's not above the law. Are you kidding me?
Excuse me, Mark. I have some important news to share. Ellie has arrived. Hello. Welcome. The Void Kitty has arrived. She's too dark to see in here. And then Darwin has also arrived to gaze upon the Queen, to witness her in her glory. What a blessed day. I'm glad you're here, chat. Ooh, hello. You gonna give me some boops? Oh. She just loves me, man. It's your boop chat. Booping me. Baby. All right, I'm gonna set you down, okay?
I heard that chat like stinky little babies.
Oh,
So I brought
more
them
stinky little babies. There's Miko. Hi, baby. He's scared of this room.
He's so fluffy though.
He's scared of this room. Now, Chad, if I was streaming from my bed, big Miki time. Lot of Miki time if I stream from the bed. Thank you for bringing the meek. Oh yeah, the Vushers are here. You get to see the cats.
That's why I wanted to bring
Oh, I forgot you joined, Vushers. Sorry. I appreciate you nonetheless.
Democrat Attorney General in New York, Democrat prosecutor in Manhattan, Democrat prosecutor in Atlanta, Democrat Attorney General in Washington, D.C. What do you mean he's not above the law? There is no law.
There's no law. It's so interesting that... Okay, so the Republicans have tied themselves politically to the police and law enforcement in general, but like it's starting to fall apart. Obviously, this is the feds, so they can sort of be like, oh, it's different, but like not really though. It's the same. They all represent the state, and like the military too. And sometimes that's not working. Anyway, I think it's fascinating that they're gonna have to. They just have to break off from Trump, right? This is fucked. They can't keep it up. This whole
I hope you have a fantastic day.
party is just a shit show. It's such a harmful thing. These are all the lead paint chip eating boomers, our parents, dude. Running the show right now. What a crazy thing. You ever been in the car with someone who's a bad driver and it's just like white knuckle? It's like in the back. It's like driving a van and the lady up front cannot drive.
It's cold.
Dr. Randy, thanks so much for the 54 months. VCC TV. Thanks for following, dude.
It has the juice.
Biddies from Singing Reaper, thank you. They're stuck. They either got to stand up for a dude going to prison or the single least charismatic Floridian. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What's going on here is a disgusting disgrace. It is war on Trump, it is war on the Republican Party, and it is a war on the Republic. The radical left is doing what the radical left does.
If the radical left was in charge, Donald Trump would be long dead. Like, what? Donald Trump would have been blood-eagled. If the radical left was in charge of the country, the radical left, Blood Eagle Donald Trump would be our new fucking flag, dude. Do you know what the Blood Eagle is, chat? The Blood Eagle is when you flay someone, their back open, and then you pull their lungs out and display them. That's called the Blood Eagle. The Vikings did that shit. Well, not all the time, but yeah. I mean, that's what would fucking happen. Like, the billionaires would be... Elon Musk wouldn't be tweeting from anywhere. His head would be on a pike on Mars. Like, this is just actually fucking fear-mongering. You want to really be scared? Don't let us act... Don't let... Well, us. I'm not trying to... don't let the tankies get in charge. They're actually psychos. The rest of us are kind of chill. They're like, yeah, fuck off. You're cringe. You know what I mean? The rest of us are pretty chill. There's some of them out there that would just fucking... They would, like, eat out of your soup right out of your skull as a celebration. You know? Wavequake, thanks for the 100 biddies, dude. I forgot we got the $1 track for the biddy donos.
While they cover up for Biden...
Tankies aren't left? I agree, but,
The way
Wavequake, thanks
they
again.
covered up for Hillary. If Donald Trump is to be charged like this, Hillary Clinton should have been charged with 10,000 counts of obstruction because that's how many emails she destroyed.
Okay. Do it. I bet you won't.
And
Do it.
5 counts
I'm
of
in.
destroying cell phones.
Who else you
because
want?
that's how many cell phones they destroyed. I'm done, and I'm sick of it.
What do you...
What you said, Mark, many years ago you said to me, and you said in one of your books, we're in a post-constitutional America.
Sean Hannity's looking old. I like that. We're in a post-constitutional America. We can't even have slaves anymore. You can if you own a prison, actually.
And what you're describing here, when you said they are the ones that are that are abusing the power, that they've criminalized political differences, that they've weaponized the Justice Department.
Criminalize political differences like the Espionage Act? Like, look, okay, we could talk about how much power the state has over people and prison sentences and all that shit, but y'all are the fucking law and order people. He broke the law. Like, hello? He did the bad stuff. You can't. I mean, you can. They do all the time. Like, hypocrisy is not new for the Republicans, or, I mean, America in general. But, like, man, you cannot be the law and order guys and then not throw your own dude in the clink when he violates that. You have to have. This is the difference, really, between the left. You remember all those years ago? You remember Al Franken? He was a Saturday Night Live guy, and then he went on to be a senator for Minnesota, I think. One of those. And maybe Montana. I think it was Minnesota, though. And he resigned his position over a very small, there was like a really small scandal where, like, in the 80s or 90s, he had taken a picture with a lady, and they, like, posed her or something as she was sleeping, and like it was like on a helicopter. Like, it was public. It wasn't like in a bed. It wasn't like sexual. It was like you know when if your friend fell asleep at like a party or something. Anyway, yeah, he didn't touch her. Anyway, it was like he fake groped in a part, but it wasn't actually touching her. It was like just to make the picture look that way. Anyway, he resigned over like essentially PG-13 prankster shit that wouldn't really fly today, but was, you know, not a big deal back then. Anyway, it wasn't really a big deal to me, and still kind of isn't. I'd have to revisit it, but I don't remember being very offended by it. Anyway, we are like, you know what? Dude's like, you know what? I know this isn't like a super big deal, but I feel like I sort of violated our shit here. I'm gonna step down. I feel like that's reasonable. My bad. And everyone was like, you don't have to, but I respect it. Have a good time. You're like, in fact, I was like, he's a good senator, and he was. I think he probably should have stayed just because, like, he's one of the good ones, but whatever. Anyway, that's the fucking difference, man. Like, and that's a liberal, not even a leftist. And leftists tend to have, like, pretty more hardcore, like, ethical standards, I think. The Republicans just don't give a shit. They do not give a shit what their ethics are. They only care about having power. That's all it's ever been about.
That's what you're saying. They love the term insurrection, and you're saying that's them. They're not abiding by the law. They're not abiding by the principle of equal justice or equal application of our laws. Am I hearing you right?
You're hearing me right, and let me say this. Today, what is today's date? June 8th? June 8th is the day of insurrection, not January 6th. A weaponized U.S. attorney, a weaponized Attorney General of the United States have unleashed the full force of the United States government against a former president, the leading Republican nominee to take on the existing president. We have never seen anything like this in the United States. We saw it under Stalin. We've seen it in other autocracies, Marxist regimes, fascist regimes, the third world.
Okay. I agree with you that America is a fascist regime. I disagree that this is a misappropriation of justice, however.
cold.
I think this would be pretty much like if you have top secret stuff, if you have the concept of a state in top secrecy, he seems to have violated it. Again, my prison system would probably be a little bit different than you, but you guys like gulag shit, so he'll be fine. He's a billionaire. Prison for him would be like Martha Stewart prison. Sassy Snicks, thanks for phone.
But they have taken the United States of America and they have dragged us into a hellhole. This is embarrassing. It's humiliating. And I'm going to tell you something. There are tens of millions of us. You have crossed the Rubicon twice, which is
Crossed the Rubicon twice. Sounds like the first Rubicon wasn't the Rubicon. Dr. Gamble, thanks to 100 biddies. Yo, Jay, can we get a look at Jan 6 and compare notes with them on what qualifies as insurrection? I guess so.
has never been done. And we will never forgive you. Never, ever. And that's the bottom line. I'm done.
What a baddie, dude. God, he's so cool. Whew, I got goosebumps. Man, you're a little Republican guy. you're watching this, you're retired, you know what I mean? Like you got your you just finished watching NASCAR for the day or whatever. Wait, is it Sunday? What was on today? Basketball? You're watching your Mets play their day game, and then you tune in for some Fox News. You just get real worked up. I'm mad. How can you give a shit about this? Here's the thing I would love Republican men to stop doing. Being pathetic. They stake so much of their own masculinity and their value on the success of men that they fucking vote for and shit. I voted for Joe Biden. I do it again. I hope he dies peacefully in his sleep with his family and friends around shortly from now. I do. I hope he has a wonderful send-off, and we move on from having old-ass motherfuckers be in charge of this place. Like, have you looked at the demographics of the people that run this country? People that are determining our futures have none. They shouldn't be allowed to be in Senate past a certain age. We really need to nip this in the bud. I shouldn't be allowed to be in Senate when I'm 80. I don't have anything to say about what we should do in the future. I mean, I might, but I'm an advisor. If you want my advice, I'll advise. Cool. I shouldn't be allowed when I'm that old. Fuck that. Actually, I'm old enough to be a president now. That's true. The lady carded me the other day. Went to a baseball game. Lady carded me, old lady, and she was like, "Hey, can I see your ID?" I'm like, "Sure." And she looked at me and she was like, "Wait." She literally did an old lady like. How old are you? That was surprising. I guess it's because I dress like a child. Also, Ben Shapiro got mad. He made a short. I guess we'll watch this Ben Shapiro short. Not worth the whole video. We'll just tack this on. They're constantly living their dreams through rich people who don't give a fuck about that. They're temporarily embarrassed millionaires, dude. Trump indicted again. Ben Shapiro. Big mad. Trump indicted again.
Alrighty, folks, President Trump has been indicted again. The Department of Justice...
He puts these... No, staff does this.
Justice will be indicting him apparently on 7 charges related to the mishandling of classified documents. This goes back to...
Who are they? What? Are they trying to get the Zoomers with this? Who's this for?
The documents that were stored at Mar-a-Lago. This whole thing started back in 2021 when the National Archives asked for a bunch of documents back, and then there were a bunch of rounds of negotiation, and then he handed...
You know how your archives documents indictment video? Let's put memes in it.
Had some documents back, and his lawyer said all the documents had been handed back, and then apparently the FBI didn't think all the documents had been handed back, and so they raided Mar-a-Lago, and now they're charging him with a bunch of stuff, ranging from conspiracy to obstruct justice to mishandling of classified documents. The problem, of course, as everyone knows, is that pretty much every major public official mishandles classified documents. We are talking here. Joe Biden put documents in his garage next to his Corvette. We are talking Vice...
Corvette. So the issue here seems to be complying with the request to give them back. And the state that they were left in, and like the handling of them, and like traveling with them and shit, and the content of them, they're just different. So, I mean, yeah, I don't care. Go after all of them. I don't give a fuck. Don't care. Do it. Clean house. Fine. I accept your terms. Joe Biden in prison too. Damn, the Clintons, the Trumps, Joe Biden. Oh no, all of them prison. Ted Cruz, no. Nancy Pelosi, no. I didn't go down the list of the types of documents.
President Mike Pence. And most obviously, we are talking
like on stream
about Hillary Clinton, who actually stored classified emails on a private server.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Nuclear capability. I mean, so much top secret stuff. Like, just crazy shit you shouldn't be handling.
Her home, and then Bleach bid it when it came under investigation. And then those emails were found on Anthony Weiner's server, like on his home computer, next to the porn. So Hillary didn't get prosecuted, Trump did. Yeah, that's a double standard.
That's it. All right. They're mad about their double standards. Republicans mad about double standards. I don't feel terribly about it.